Welcome to the Libido Lounge, where we focus on all things love, lust, and libido. We believe that fabulous sex is important to health as exercise and good food. Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Libido Lounge. I am so excited about what we're doing today. So I'm going to talk to you today about my favorite vibrator sex toy company. And it's my favorite company because this company is doing research. They have about a dozen clinical trials around the world. They actually have FDA approval as medical devices because what they are finding in their research is actually healing and reversing as a use and as a result of the use of their products. So couple examples, and then I'm going to do this product reveal. I know most of you guys are probably listening and not looking at the video version of this. The video version is available on YouTube. But I'll describe the product as well, talk about some of the research behind this, why I like this product so much, how to use this, proper lubes, all those kind of things and more. So I'll start with a little bit of the product reveal. So for those of you guys that are watching it, you can see that this comes in a beautiful box. And as I open it, it's like really, really nice packaging. This one is called the Crescendo. So what makes this particular device so special is all the different ways that this device can be used. So it basically is like this very flat looking device, right? So it's very flat looking, but look at all the different ways I can bend it. So it bends in more ways that has these joints and these pivots throughout the complete device, and it has this like nub area on the end, right? And so what's amazing about this device is I've never found a device that is so able to contour to the natural shapes of various different vaginal canals, because as women we're all shaped differently. And so this is a really important thing about this product is you can bend it in all these different ways, right? And it will then contour and you can basically get into different positions in the vaginal canal. And what I've been finding and using this myself is that there's certain areas that have more like numbness, and that I've done more numbness exercises in the past to, bring more blood flow to the vaginal tissue, but I'm still finding areas that maybe didn't have as much blood flow and those sorts of things by use with this device. So that's really exciting. The other cool thing about this device is it has an app that you can put on your phone and your partner's phone. And what this app will do is this app will make different parts of the device vibrate at different speeds, at different frequencies. There's a lot of different programs, and you can actually customize your own program. For extra fun, you can actually give the controls to your partner. Which brings me to another conversation with vibrator use, which is how to talk to your partner about bringing a vibrator into the bedroom. So one of the things, if you guys have never used a vibrator in couples play, I really encourage you to talk to your partner about this prior to the intimate act. Sometimes it can be a little, surprising if you are in the middle of sex or in the middle of any sort of intimate act and all of a sudden you bring out your vibrator and start making it buzz, right? And sometimes that can be a very big kill for somebody that doesn't know why you're doing this, that, sometimes there's this misunderstanding about vibrator use with sexuality, that maybe if you're using this, then all of a sudden it means that somebody is not performing as well. So we want to take all of that off the table and clear up any confusion that somebody might have about bringing a vibrator into the bedroom ahead of time. So there's not this negative association around the use of a vibrator. So this is another way, I talk in some of my work about novelty and monogamy, right? So how can we keep things hot when we are in long-term monogamous relationships? And using vibrators is one really great way to keep things hot. Using a vibrator, giving somebody else control, is a really great way of keeping things hot, right? It's this novelty. It's adding something unique into the relationship. And so one of the ways to talk about this outside of the bedroom is, hey, you just want to try new things. You're really excited about where you're at sexually, but you also want to get something, new and novel. And even being able to explain to a partner sometimes about dopamine and about, hey, like oftentimes sexuality, we get this dopamine hit in the beginning of relationships. You can quote me if you want. And then essentially, as the relationship is longer, we get less of a dopamine hit from it. So the hormones that get released with sex actually change the longer we are in relationships. So because we want to say get beyond that and we want to get those hormones back again, one of the ways we can do that is novelty. Well, vibrators make for really, really great novelty. So another thing that I've seen to be very hot for couples is actually having one couple watch, or one person in the couple watch the other person in the couple watch the watch how you use it, right? So watch essentially how you use this, teach them, show them. This is just can be a beautiful artistic and a beautiful intimate moment that you get to share with this person that you love. And so essentially, another thing that we want to really consider is we want to consider things like, okay, talking about this outside of the bedroom after you have an intimate experience. So once you, or even during, like during the intimate experience, you've talked about it outside, you say, okay, we're going to bring this vibrator out, maybe even show them what this vibrator looks like. If they've never really worked with a vibrator before, show them how it works. Show them like when you are outside, use this as like this conversation can even be kind of foreplay around like, talking about how it feels on your clitoris, talking about how it feels on your labia, talking about how it feels in different places inside you, talking about how it is not replacing them, right? That's not what this is about. It's about just another way of bringing more novelty, the different version of excitement, just a different thing that you can go to spice things up and to make it different. Another thing that's really important to understand, I said I was going to get into some research on this, is this particular company, one of the things they've researched is vibrator use for pelvic pain. And basically what they found is over 12 weeks at 3 times use per week, there was a 5 times reduction in pelvic pain. Pretty amazing numbers. They're seeing that. So they're seeing that for women. There's also seeing that erectile dysfunction for men goes down. And for men, what's so amazing, and I'll show you the man device in a moment, one of the men devices in a moment. And essentially for men, what they're finding is even the psychological component that oftentimes is contributed to erectile dysfunction. So estimated about 40% of the time, erectile dysfunction has a psychological component to it. Well, this device that I'm going to show you for men helps with blood flow. And because when men start having better erections, it actually gives them more confidence. And this device is not only shown to help with physiological, with blood flow reasons for erectile dysfunction, but also for psychological reasons. So pretty cool research. And that's one of the reasons I really, really love this company is because everything they do is not just about like the shape, the feel, the utility, the fun, the sexiness, the intimacy. It's also about healing. And so this company really is so much in alignment with one of my missions, which is really bringing more awareness to our sex life as a way of healing, right? As a way of balancing the body, balancing stress, helping the pelvic muscles to actually tone, reducing pelvic pain, helping to reduce things like incontinence and all these various things, right? There's so many different things that can come from a healthy sex life. So this is also fully rechargeable. It has just a little like USB, micro USB port, a cord that comes with it. So that's the Crescendo 2. Now I'm going to show you and tell you about, for those that are listening, the Tenuto 2. So the Tenuto also comes in this very sleek packaging. And the Tenuto this one can be used for men and women. This one has definitely been studied more for men. And so essentially what this particular device is, so also this very, very sleek packaging, right? And so this packaging, once you get it out, also has the ability to be fully remote controlled, right? With your phone. So it has an app just like the Crescendo. You can essentially turn it up, turn it down, change the rhythms, change the waves, all of those cool things. But this one also, so it kind of works like a cock ring, essentially. So essentially, you can put the penis in between this area. This part also often goes on the perineum. But the thing with this particular device and all of these devices, you can also find very, very classy, well done. I love the pictorial images on Mystery Vibe site. Mystery Vibe is this company. So I love the pictures on their site because they give you different ways of using this. Now, this is another area where I've seen, especially because vibration is something that many men have not felt on their penis, on their testicles, right? So oftentimes this is a new sensation, and the testicles oftentimes are areas that men tend to be very, very, very cautious and protective around, right? They're sensitive. So we want to introduce a toy like this oftentimes very gently. Oftentimes these are best placed around the cock when it is actually soft. And I also recommend that before you enter sexual play with this, you turn the vibration on, you turn it on low, you hold this, give this to the man, and you actually have the man put this on their cock, on their balls, and actually begin to feel what the sensation feels like, right? Because you want to begin to start very slowly, very cautiously getting a sense of, okay, this feels like good like this does not feel good like that. And you want to oftentimes introduce this one thing at a time, because typically what you will do in a true intercourse scenario is the cock would go through here, and then in a hetero relationship, then essentially when you're sitting on top of the cock, the perineum's resting on this back vibratory plate. So there can be a lot going at one time. And like I said, the sensation can be very, very new. So there is definitely sometimes with these, in trialing these sex toys out for the first time, I feel like this is a huge example of not taking things like this so serious and bringing play and that sensation of play and trying things and novelty back into sex life, and being okay, being okay if it's awkward for a moment because you couldn't get the device on in the right way, and all these different things that are actually very common to happen if you haven't explored with devices like this before. So the more you explore with devices like this, the more oftentimes you will find that it just becomes more normal and natural. But in the beginning, when you're just learning this, take it one step at a time. Introduce the genitals to these things. Basically have a conversation with the genitals, with your partner's genitals. How does this feel? What does it feel like? What do you like? What do you don't like? And this, like I said, it not only brings novelty back in, but it also brings this amazing thing back in, this amazing ability to start having conversations about what you like and what you don't like. And I think having these conversations beyond understanding another person's body really well, another great thing about learning to have these conversations is they really bring out a sense of safety, a sense of intimacy, and from a standpoint of like this concept of foreplay, right? So one of the things I talk about oftentimes is like, oftentimes couples in long-term relationships don't have enough foreplay. It's like, okay, everything, we finally get to that moment where you're in bed or you're wherever you're at, where you're going to have your intimate act. And it's like, now we start touching, that sort of thing, when foreplay can actually be going on all throughout the day, through sexy text, through looks in the eyes, through, pats on the butt, like all these different things, right? And so having kind of these discussions too, and talking about sex outside of the bedroom more normal, more part of your life, that also acts as a sort of foreplay. Like, we're going to try this new fun thing later, and we don't know what's going to happen, and what sort of like fun, sexy, conversations can you have around that, as a way of really spicing that sex life and really getting that fire going again. So I hope that's been helpful, and please do leave any comments or questions in this, in this podcast below. There will be information about how to get these, as well as coupon codes for you for this amazing company, Mystery Vibe. I'm so excited what this company is doing and new research that's coming out. So definitely look for your coupon code in the show notes. Really appreciate you guys for listening, and please do ask any questions. Always remember, stay classy, stay sexy, stay a little badassy. See you next time. Thank you for listening to the Libido Lounge. Please don't keep me a secret. Please share this with your friends. You can find me on YouTube, on Instagram, as well as how to work with me at mylibidodoc.com.